All right. Thank you for joining me, everybody. We are going live for I don't even know how long. We're going to be answering questions. It's Freelancer Friday. And yeah, whatever you are thinking, any help that you guys need, just let me know. I got a couple questions coming in through Quora. Let's see if I get some through YouTube. And help that you guys need, just let me know. I got a couple questions coming in through Quora. Let's see if I get some through YouTube. So I just got StreamYard not too long ago, so I'm still trying to figure out how all this works. And I think you were just seeing the broadcast side. So yeah, let's pull up some questions right away. So we're getting some value out of this. All right, so the first one, these are coming through Quora. I think there's a link down below my video if you guys want to post through there, or like I said, just throw it on the comment. I'll post it on here and I'll answer them live. This first one is, how can freelancing help your career? I think this could go two ways, right? I think this could go on the helpful side. Like, I think it could help your career because I guess it determines what your career is. Is your career just kind of working for yourself and empowering yourself? Because it could definitely help with that, because you're constantly gaining these skills, and figuring a lot of things out on your own. And, we always talk about upskilling, right? So as you kind of face these challenges, all of these skills are going to stack on top of each other. So I think in that sense, freelancing can really help your career, because you're going to just know more things. You're going to constantly be ascertaining these different skills. Now, on the other end of it, I think it could really hurt your career, because again, if you were in this boat where your career depended on maybe corporate climbing, or kind of getting that job down really well, or kind of learning the ropes of the corporate system and that whole world, I think it can really hinder that, because you're not going to want to do that stuff. The independence that you gain from running your own business, I know that can be difficult sometimes. It can be stressful, but then you think like, okay, the alternative is to be like, one of these pawns or a rook in on someone else's chessboard. So I think it kind of unveiled, at least for me, it totally unveiled the fact that I could do a lot of this stuff on my own, and I didn't have to wait around for the promotions, or to get that job internally that I wanted, or to switch to another company because they offered me more. I can manage multiple projects now. So I think in terms of like your career, again, I think it could really build on your skills, give you the confidence to do more things, make more money. You're a small business owner. So if that's the career you're interested in, business, I think first and foremost, that needs to be something that you need to ask yourself. Because if you don't want to at least have be business minded in this, I think it's going to be challenging to navigate all of the negotiations and almost like not the politics, but just making sure that you're managing these projects correctly, because there's going to be those issues that present themselves sometimes regularly, because you're dealing with clients that are not always sure what they want sometimes. So they need that feedback from the project and everything. So, this is a good question. It really comes down to what are your goals of your career? Because, for me, for instance, I think it's really helped, because a lot of the things I was doing, now I have backstop, or the ability to reference a lot of those accolades, or skills that I've done, or the projects that I've done. I could reference them on this platform that is objectionable. So I think it's really good in that area for me. I think it does more than just having like your own web page or doing something in that regard. So if you're on your own freelancing, you may not get those perks like you were, using something like an Upwork or a Fiverr where you could reference back and know that, okay, these are actual projects that happen. You go to a web page and yeah, there could be a testimonial or something, but like you don't know if that was just like, what is that, right? We've talked about that before, like that. That's why getting those reviews on Upwork is so powerful. So I think we did a good job answering this one. We'll come back. Let me just write that. We answered that with you guys. Cool. All right, next one. And I'll kind of stick with this career subject. Let me pull this up. So is freelancing a career? So, like the last question, I think it really comes down to how you are going to define career. Because if you had a career just because you wanted to make money and be somewhat happy, or if you really wanted to do your life's endeavor or the things that you love or this, that, like, I don't always think if it comes down to doing the things you love, like, I don't think I always am loving the work that I'm doing as a freelancer. That's for sure. I do think that I love having the independence, like we just spoke about, and being able to, punch my own time clock whenever I want, and build whatever skills that you gravitate towards. If you are interested in a certain field like copywriting, or maybe you want to learn marketing automation, or maybe you want to learn design, or all of these things, you can kind of keep going towards that. And at the end of the day, if you keep on that, 2 years down the road, you're going to be an expert in, basically whatever you do, or at least very good at it, right? Like, and that's kind of how I got into design in the first place. I don't think I was necessarily good or had some special inherent talents. I think I really liked using Photoshop, and I spent my own time like learning the skills. It was just fun for me. So, I think in that sense, if you're kind of loosely defining like, careers in that way, then yeah, I think, I think when you keep doing somewhat things that you like, and then you keep pushing forward with your knowledge, then I think it ultimately is a career. And the more you play that game, I think the more confidence that you develop in yourself, and the easier and the better the better your career will be. I think if you keep navigating towards the things that make you happy, because you'll ultimately keep building up the skills like muscles in your body. And if you keep, working those out, then, you look again down, like future Adam would look back like 2 years ago, be like, I know a lot more now, or I'm more gifted in these areas because I've spent the time. Like, as you see, I'm really new at broadcasting and YouTube, so I'm very bad, but hopefully in 2 or 3 years, I could say, oh, wow, what's your career? Oh, I do YouTube videos. So it's, your career could drift. It's not just one thing. Your career could be many things right now. I'm also working on like 10 different projects. I'm also working on my own software as a service company. I'm also, so it's, I don't know, it's fun for me to have kind of these multiple careers going on. So I'm going to go with yes, freelancing is a career, along with the parallel careers that you may have also. So I hope that answers that question. Let's go back here. All right. So is freelancing a really tough job? Okay, so there are hundreds and thousands of job posts coming down the pipe every day. And they are small and they are large. And, they can be complex and they can be simple. So every job can be tough or it can be easy. The thing I find, tough in the overall scope of freelancing is accountability, I'd say. Mostly there's a lot of communication breaking down because the relationships in a lot of cases are just getting started, and no one's typically like a professional freelancer, a professional client, right? So and these people are just starting to get to know each other, and they need to figure themselves out. Just like typical hiring process, there would be multiple interviews, and then there would be training and trials and all these things. But a lot of time with the freelancing world, it's like, I want this done right now. So that's great, and hopefully the freelancer can do that. But a lot of times, I want this done right now really isn't well thought out, on the client side. And it's kind of the job for the freelancer to whittle down that original abstract idea into something that can be bitten, chewed, and swallowed. So, I think that in that kind of sense, it can be, a difficult job if you just want to kind of dip your toes in the water with it, because I think it's something that you need to really put some concentration into and care into, or else it becomes, I don't know, like a plain nosediving. So one thing that I find that seems really tough is just really kind of, again, that accountability, and then just doing what you say you're going to do. Because a lot of times I get freelancers that bail, or they're just not just not fulfilling my expectations. And that's not to say that I, from the freelancer side, that I am probably not doing the same for some clients also. So I think that there's always this dance that's done, and sometimes it's the right dancing partner, and other times it's not. And both people need to be cognizant of when it is working out, when it's not working out. And it's sometimes just best to play musical chairs a couple times until you find someone that you could jive with, both from the freelancer side and both from the client side. So, I think it's a really tough job, again, if you're not the type of freelancer that's going to take the job seriously and do it done well, and give the relationship the best opportunity to be well, to have the project go off perfectly. So hope that answers that question. We're going to move on here. All right. Sticking with the career stuff. Is it good and safe to make a career in freelancing? Look, I think what this whole 2020 and 2021 has really provided for so many people that, I've been preaching this for a really long time. And I think the most secure you can be is to have security in yourself, and to learn the skills that are going to be applicable for not just one business, but for multiple businesses, and to have that trust in yourself that I can get through anything. So going into last year when everything shut down and people were freaking out because they can't go to work, it's like kind of just Tuesday and Wednesday on my side, and for the people on Upwork, because we're just kind of used to remote working and just, I don't know, just nothing really. As long as we have power and internet, we're usually pretty good to go. So as far as your career in it, I think if you ever did want to go for an interview at some point later in time for a normal job, I like all of these completed jobs that you've done while freelancing, all those projects, they should account for something, right? It's not like you just are a deadbeat not doing anything. And these are almost more verifiable and than a lot of the the old school resumes that you would have, like, oh, I just worked here. And it's like, well, what did you do? You can actually show through your freelancing, through the project, like what you were able to actually achieve. And I think, I think it's not like you're risking anything. I think the only thing, like our first question that I answered is, does it make you a good corporate pawn, right? So that it may not make you look good in that sense. Like they may not be able to control you as well as someone maybe out of college and wanting to be groomed in that corporate culture. But for you, I think the safety is knowing like, wow, I can get work from like 30 different clients right now if I want to. Versus like, wow, I could get a job and how does that, if you have to wait 30, 60 days for an interview and then get a job and then your first paycheck, that could be 2-3 months down the road versus having the skill set to jump on a platform like Upwork or Fiverr and be able to just work and get paid, almost immediately, like in a week later, right? Or at least know that like that money is like in the till, which is, I mean, it's like kind of the same as a bank account. You just can't spend it yet. So you at least you're accruing cash versus waiting for the interview, not knowing if you're going to get the job, kind of putting the rest of your life on pause, like and suspension, like waiting to see how that turns out. I just think I hate being in that place. I love the fact that I could bid on a job on a Saturday or a Sunday. It's real time. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I love that those opportunities are constantly presenting ourselves. I mean, this is every day. Let's just go in here. So if you go in at any point, and I mean, not to mention, I'm just kidding. Like these are just from today. It's crazy how many people are just inviting lately. So this is find work. So it's a little weird right now with this screen, but these are just US only jobs being sent 9 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, 11 minutes ago, 12 minutes ago. And these are just the ones that are filtered by my search queries. So these aren't even everything, but it's every minute of the day, 7 days a week. It's crazy. So just some things to think about, guys. I don't, as long as this keeps up, and people are cool with working online, which how are we going to go back at this point? These things are going to be here for a very long time. So yeah, I think it's going to be safe. Okay, let's do freelancing better than a regular job. Okay, let's do this. Does experience help with freelancing? Yeah, definitely. I think really, in 2021 and beyond, Upwork is really looking for professionals and experts in these fields because they're trying to get people integrated with these big companies. So yeah, I think having experience, technical experience, being able to go into these projects, hitting the ground running is going to be super duper helpful. So yeah, as if you can like list that all out when you're making the profile, make sure that you put everything that you guys have done and do and the platforms that you're familiar with, because all of that stuff is very searchable. And again, it compounds, all those skills compound. So, and the other thing is you can have almost multiple versions of your profile on Upwork. So, segment those out and you could put fully, different profiles so that it's all searchable. So all that experience, put it on there. It's definitely not going to help. All right, cool. And then let's do one more. So how was your experience being full-time freelancer at Upwork? Oh, we already did an answer, but let's just do it right now. It's been awesome. I would say I'm not even full-time anymore. I'm dialing it back a little bit as I work on my own endeavors of being a YouTube superstar. No, I'm just kidding. But you know, I have the blog. I have Upwork Saved My Life. It's been really awesome, and I can't stress it enough that like we're living in this time where you can work with any company anywhere around the world. I mean, and I say any company because there's always going to be someone behind the scenes, right? Some admin or accountant or someone that does the social media for that company. Like every company needs somebody online, somebody who's willing to put in the time and help this company online. So I think knowing that and learning that and just accepting that this is like the reality, this is the fate of the future, it's been really awesome to see and be part of this whole process from like an early stage where this was still looked at like kind of kitsch and you know, I don't know, just like, well, you're a freelancer and being like, oh, that means you're unemployed, to wow, you're an entrepreneur, solopreneur, you know, you're marching by the beat of your own drum. Like everybody can do this, even if they already have a job. I know that I said like you should be committed, but you can still have your job and be committed. I'm just saying you can't just get a job and then not give a shit about it, because that's going to really, you know, affect future work and things like that. So, you know, I think I learned, and my experience, it's been amazing to know that I can do this all on your own. You could learn these things. I learned so much stuff just through YouTube and friends. And so, yeah, guys, I think the experience has been great. If you haven't yet, like, make a profile on one of these platforms out there, and just don't do it to do it because you just want to kind of prove to yourself that this doesn't work, right? Like there's a lot of people that will do it to just, I don't know, they put negative energy into it. I didn't win at this until I basically made up my mind, like I wanted to be a really awesome freelancer in here and like do a really good job. Like that's when I got the work. So it wasn't until then that I made that mind shift change that anyone even paid attention to me on that system. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna do a little work before the weekend, and thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. Freelancer Friday. I'll try to do more of these live stuff. Elias has been hitting me up for more content. So we finally got this room done too. This has been a crazy thing because it's been done for a while, but the last thing was internet, and these walls are thick, so it's just a long story. But it was always like faded internet, and it was impossible, so I had to do it in another room, and just I didn't have like my stuff. So here we are. We're good. We're gonna do more of these. Thank you for joining me. Let me know anything. Let me know how I can improve, how I can do better. If it was good, if you did get some value out of it, please support the channel. Just hit the like. Let me know if there's any other questions that you guys want me to bring up for next Friday. And yeah, thank you. The channel is growing. It's cool to see, and hopefully it's effective, and we are bringing some value to you guys. Thanks a lot. Have a great weekend. Bye bye.